Welcome to Marketing Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. Join Stacy and learn from her 20 years of experience as she shares top-notch advice on marketing best practices for brands and walks you through how to leverage entertainment content and influencer partnerships to increase your brand's overall consumer engagement and, most importantly, your sales.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. I'm Stacy Jones, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to make sure your medical practice website is ready for a journalist. This is a 4-part podcast and provides you with very easy steps for you and your team to incorporate into your own company to help drive PR awareness and make your appointment books even busier. Last week, I spoke about why PR is important for your medical practice, as well as what you need to focus on while creating your strategy, which includes knowing your competition, differentiating, and media training. This week, we're going to focus on your website and making sure it's media friendly. Because quite frankly, it's rare that a medical practice's website is good enough to get press attention. And if you can make yours shine, you're going to get more coverage than your competitors. It's really all about presenting everything about you that a journalist might want to know in order to have them write a story, and serving it up in a pretty nicely tied package. So let's start off by talking about 8 things you need to know about to polish your website. Your website's not just a place for consumers to go. It's a place for press to go as well. But businesses seem to not always utilize their websites as well as they could. You need to have the best, most easy consumer and press-friendly website, chock full of assets. Because again, in this socially web-driven world, that's the first place someone's going to go to find more out about you. So, is it easy to find information? Do you have a media center? Is it informative? Does it have great case studies? Does it show how you solve common as well as not so common issues? This is a great place for you to make sure that your story is listed. Something I think that's incredibly important about your website is to make sure that whatever it's built on, if it's WordPress or if it's another platform, that whatever hosting platform it is built off of, that you or someone in your office can update it easily, so that you don't have to outsource and have your web developer do it. There's platforms and designs now that make it so easy to go in and post new case studies, or post a special or new stories, or change verbiage, or add video, and it'll keep it a lot more alive and interactive. You can do this in your office, and you don't need outside help if the website was built the right way. If you're going to be doing a PR program and building this out, you want to make sure that you can keep your content really up to date and change your story along with your pitch. Then also make sure that media center, that phrase I said before, make sure it exists. It's where you're going to post all of your PR. And you're going to also make sure your website's optimized for search engines. This is highly important. Don't go in anymore and do flash websites. Search engines can't use those. Try to keep up with whatever the latest technologies are. Make sure that you have great keywords. Google's changing all of the time, and it's very hard to keep up with that. But find someone out there who can just help you develop and keep abreast with your website. You also want to make sure you include your social media links. So if you have a Twitter account and a Facebook account and an Instagram account, great. You need those. If you don't have those, start building them and posting daily. This is where you get to interact with your customers and have them check in on their social platforms too, which we'll talk about a little later. Before and after photos. Some of you all are probably phenomenal photographers. For some of you all, it's a skill that's not the best one offered in your office. It's something that you need to make sure is streamlined in such a way that it has consistency and will be phenomenal moving forward. You need very high quality digital before and afters of every patient that you treat, so that when you find a phenomenal after effect, you have already had the before. So make sure they're clean and in high resolution. Make sure they're clear. Make sure they're taken with a stable hand. Make sure that they're consistent, that the lighting is the same, that the wall that you're doing this on is in the same color. Don't change different rooms and have different paint colors. Make sure that the distance that you're doing it is the same. Get a mat. Buy one of those plastic roller chair mats and draw lines on it. Draw an X for where the patient needs to stand. Draw an X for where the photographer needs to stand. Stand there and take the picture from there. So there's always consistent. Get lighting equipment and set it up. Get a real camera, not a mobile phone. Set this up professionally because it's going to be well worth the financial investment. Also make sure that when I say the patient neckline, are they in a gown? Are they in a shirt? Make sure that it's always going to be the same thing. Get a t-shirt that they wear with your practice name on it. Get a t-shirt that they wear that's just black. Whatever. Make it the same from photo to photo. It really doesn't matter what it is. It just needs to be consistent from one photo to another. Their faces size also needs to be the same. If you're pulling back hair, make sure that you have hair bands and pull them back the same way as well. And try to make your patients look nice. This is not a time to try to make them look absolutely horrible in the case of a before photo. It's not going to help you with the media. The media is typically looking for people who look normal or nice and who just happen to be wanting to look even better. They're not looking for the worst person on the block who all of a sudden turns into a beauty queen. My team has run into this ourselves with a lot of media. And they're just looking for pictures of people who can be related to. So get a nice hairband to pull back hair. Make sure the lighting's good and it shows the person and it's a really good, strong photo. These are going to be incredibly, incredibly important because these tell your story more than words can. For your afters, make sure that your patient is ready themselves. Try to fluff up their hair. Try to make them look a little bit better as you're doing it. If you're showing their teeth, chest, or their legs, or their whatever, and not their face at all, fine, doesn't matter. But if their face is in the photo, let it look nice and take several photos versus just one quick snap. Make sure they're not smiling in the first photo, that they can't smile in the second photo, because everything needs to be the same. Make sure that it shows recognizable differences between the before and the after. The more distinct, the stronger the media is going to appreciate it. But it's not about making the before shot look dreadful due to camera angles, bad lighting, or weird insert shots. I've seen it all. Don't do it. You're also going to look for unique stories. When I say unique stories, I'm talking about ways that you are newsworthy based on what you're doing in your practice or who's coming in to see you. It could be something you've done. It could show how you're giving back to the community. Charity is phenomenal for helping you create unique stories. Technologies you have. Let's talk about unique equipment that you have and all the things that you can do with it. If it's so different from what your competitors have and it's enabling you to do XYZ treatment, it's enabling you to fix XYZ issue, and you can go and build on these stories. Then talk about the technology angle. Talk about new technology usage and the results too. So you have a new device or you're using a current device and you just found out that if you use it a little differently, you can now diminish wrinkles or crooked teeth or pores, whatever it might be. Talk about that and develop that story and find the unique angle on that and show how you're doing something with technology that's a little different than what everyone else might be doing. And make sure you have great results that you can show to substantiate this. Here's a little side note. So those technology providers, those device manufacturers, they're looking for press for their equipment. And if you are a doctor in a practice that's able to use their equipment and get stellar results, they're very likely going to try to help you get more press. So this is a really great way and a great angle to work with your medical device and have them help you gain a higher press footprint. Then there's the philanthropic angle. Heartwarming patient stories are always going to be great for news. People like hearing how people were helped and how they have had a major difference in their life based on something that's been done for them. So if you have patients that come in and are willing to be your advocate and give you a testimonial, use that story. Sometimes it's worth a little free or discounted service to get those stories too. They will yield massive results. Then there's the celebrity angle. You have the option to work with celebrities. You may not think that you actually know any celebrities. You don't necessarily have Brad Pitt living in your neighborhood, and that's okay. But you do have radio, television, sports figures, politicians who are there and who live in your community most likely. And quite frankly, it doesn't mean it has to be an A-lister that's known around the world. Most of you listening aren't trying to get global recognition. You're trying to get local recognition in your own community, where you'll get noticed enough to make your appointment book start to fill up. Keep in mind that a celebrity, including local celebrities, wants free things too. Just like everyone else loves complimentary services and products. In fact, for real celebrities, sometimes they want free even more because they're used to getting free and complimentary treatments that you can provide. In exchange, they know that they can provide you with social media posts on Facebook. They can tweet, they can give testimonials. A celebrity persona is really going to drive a consumer's credibility rating with you because consumers are in awe of all sorts of celebrities. Even your once football local hero who is now 15 years older and needing a touch-up, there's a story. It's going to allow you a unique story to cover by press. And it's going to help convince customers that it's safe and desirable to do the treatment just because they have a recognizable persona getting it. It's an influencer, and it's going to give you the opportunity to invite media in to actually cover the after story of the treatment as well. Okay, let's quickly revisit about social media. You need to develop a very concrete social media plan. You're missing out otherwise, and with all of the press that you're about to start getting, if you have social sites, then you can share that press to the masses who are already aware of you. You need to remember your story and keep it consistent across all of your networking. You need to choose your voice. So if you're posting from your iPhone when you're at home, and your office marketing point is posting from your computer at the office, and someone else is posting who's a clinical assistant, you need to make sure that all of you sound similar, in the same voice, and that everyone has a plan in place of what things are going to look like, because this is what represents you and is your business identity. You're also going to want to use social media to empower your clients. People sometimes balk when I say this because I'm going to say you want to give something to your patients for free or for a discount in order to get them to tweet or post or comment. They have a phenomenal reach. They have so many people who believe in them, who trust them. You cannot actually buy advertising that's more powerful or credible than what your own clients' own voices can do for your business. So when I say give them something for free, it could be a small bottle of oil. It could be a scented sachet of lavender that's calming. It could be anything. It could be a sampling size of a product that you're now selling in your office. In exchange, when they come in, say, will you check in here? And have a sign up. People are getting used to doing this. You go into spas. You go into a yogurt shop. You go in all of these different places, restaurants now, whatever. And they say, if you'll check in here on Facebook, I'll give you 5% off. And these can be perceived discounts. You can raise your service and bump up pricing slightly, knowing that you're going to be taking off a little bit for these testimonials, and make sure that you have a little bit of inflation there so that you can continue to offer these discounts if they're going to be readily accepted. Or just find a little tchotchke of some sort that's disposable that someone can put in their pocket and take home, because just like celebrities, real people like free. With social media, your office is also going to need to know how to figure out how to handle negative comments. They may never happen, but everyone has bad days, including your front desk receptionist, another patient point in the office, even you. And it may happen. So who is the point on your team who's going to address if they see a posting online that's negative? How are they going to address it? What is the action plan? Figuring out what could possibly be said in any scenario, and draft a plan of how you're going to respond to each of those situations. When are you going to handle this? Do you all go through on a daily basis? Is it a weekly basis? Don't make it a monthly basis, but come up with a way to be very, very reactive and very proactive about reaching out and talking to your consumers and finding out what went wrong that they would give you a negative review. A lot of times just talking to them may get them to repost something that's positive. You're always going to have some people out there who are just not fun, nice people to be had, and they really enjoy posting negative things, and you're going to have to live with that as well. It's okay. Just make sure you have lots of positive reviews too. People know that other people they can kind of suck sometimes. We all know that constant negative whiner, and people don't necessarily take them all too seriously as long as there's another balance to it. And real quickly, going back to case studies, you're going to want to share all of your successes, and that includes your case studies. Make sure that you have a home for them. In my next podcast, we're going to focus on creating press releases, getting them distributed, and having media actually see them, plus everything you need to include. Stop by HollywoodBranded.com for more tips. You'll also find our library, which has infographics, white papers, ebooks, and videos, or our blog, blog.hollywoodbranded.com, which has hundreds of helpful hints on how to make brand influencer and entertainment content partnerships a success from the get-go. And visit learn.hollywoodbranded.com, where we've created a how-to learning platform for you to make an impact in your own business based on my over 20 years of expertise. That includes videos, transcripts, and quizzes to make sure you truly understand the materials and can take massive action today for your own business. That's it for this episode. I hope it was helpful, and please let me know if you have any feedback. I'll see you next week. And as always, if you need a little or a lot of help, my agency Hollywood Branded is here to lend a hand. If you would leave a review or any questions I can address in the future, I'd really appreciate it, as your feedback helps me know my advice is valuable and interesting to you.
Are you ready to make the magic of product placement, celebrity event activations, or influencer partnerships help your sales? Visit HollywoodBranded.com to gain access to free content to learn which key tactics best fit your brand. You'll find surveys, webinars, daily blogs, ebooks, and guides, all created to make sure you have access to the best possible marketing practices. Let's make that entertainment marketing magic happen for you.